Have you ever wondered where the Slavic civilization began its rich and varied journey? Our story takes us to the fertile lands of Ukraine, a place often referred to as the cradle of Slavic civilization. These verdant plains and forests nurtured the earliest tribes of Slavs, who were known for their agricultural prowess and their deeply spiritual connection to the natural world. Their way of life was simple yet profound, guided by the rhythms of the seasons and the land. As time passed, these scattered tribes coalesced into a formidable entity known as the Kyiv Rus. Founded in the late 9th century by the legendary Varangian warrior prince Rurik, Kyiv Rus blossomed into a mighty federation of Slavic tribes. Its capital, Kyiv, soon emerged as a beacon of culture, trade, and learning, attracting scholars and merchants from far and wide. The zenith of Kyiv Rus's cultural and political influence is often referred to as the Golden Age. This era, under the rule of Volodymyr the Great and his son Yaroslav the Wise, saw a flourishing of arts, literature, and law. The adoption of Christianity during Volodymyr's reign brought about monumental changes, influencing the spiritual, cultural, and political landscape of the region. But as with all golden ages, this one too came to an end. In the mid-13th century, the Mongols invaded Kyiv Rus. Despite fierce resistance, the Federation fell to the invaders. The once thriving city of Kyiv was reduced to rubble, its grandeur lost amidst the chaos of war. The Mongols' rule was harsh and unforgiving, a stark contrast to the enlightened reign of the Rus' princes. And so the once thriving Kyiv Rus fell under Mongol rule, marking the end of an era. Yet, even in the face of such adversity, the spirit of the Slavic people endured, their resilience sowing the seeds of a new chapter in the tapestry of Ukraine's history. But what happened when the Mongols left? Who filled the power vacuum? Ukraine's history didn't stop with the Mongols. It continued to be shaped and molded by the influences of different powers. This time, it was the Polish and Lithuanian kingdoms that would leave their mark on Ukraine's historical tapestry. The Polish-Lithuanian Union, formed in the late 14th century, was a dual state, a bi-confederation, if you will. It was a significant power in Eastern Europe, and Ukraine, with its fertile lands and strategic location, became a prime target. As the Mongols retreated, the Polish and Lithuanian kingdoms swooped in, bringing with them a wave of cultural and religious changes. Polish influence was particularly visible in the western parts of Ukraine. Polish language, customs, and Catholicism seeped into the Ukrainian way of life. Towns and cities began to mirror Polish urban culture, while the nobility adopted the Polish language and traditions, creating a unique blend of cultures. Lithuania, on the other hand, had a more hands-off approach, allowing the Orthodox Church to continue its reign in the region. Yet the Lithuanian legal and administrative systems were gradually integrated into Ukrainian society. However, this period wasn't just about cultural exchange, it was also a time of conflict. Tensions simmered between the Orthodox and Catholic churches, between the nobility and the peasantry, between the Polish and Lithuanians themselves. These conflicts eventually led to a series of uprisings that challenged the Polish-Lithuanian rule. By the mid-17th century, the Polish-Lithuanian Union was in decline. It was unable to manage its vast territories effectively, and the constant uprisings weakened its hold on Ukraine. The nobility, once the staunch supporters of the Union, began to waver, looking for other potential allies. And thus, the Polish and Lithuanian influences waned, paving the way for a new power to emerge. This decline marked the end of a significant chapter in Ukraine's history, but as always, when one power recedes, another rises to take its place. Ukraine's journey was far from over. The stage was now set for the next players in Ukraine's historical saga, the Cossacks and the Russians. So who came next? Who claimed the lands of Ukraine for their own? As we move forward in time, we encounter the fascinating period of the Cossack Hetmanate, a semi-autonomous state of Ukraine that emerged in the mid-17th century. The Cossacks, a group of primarily East Slavic-speaking people known for their fierce independence and military prowess, rebelled against the Polish-Lithuanian rule. They established the Hetmanate, led by their elected leader, the Hetman, creating a beacon of Ukrainian self-governance and culture amidst the political upheaval of the time. However, the Cossack Hetmanate's struggle for independence was a tumultuous one. This period was marked by a series of wars, alliances, betrayals, and shifting borders. The Hetmanate found itself caught between the powerful forces of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, the Muscovite Russia, and the Ottoman Empire. Despite their fight, the Cossack hetmanate was gradually absorbed into the Russian sphere of influence. By the late 18th century, following a series of partitions and the dissolution of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, Ukraine was incorporated into the Russian Empire. This marked a significant turning point in the history of Ukraine. The Russian rule brought an end to the relative autonomy enjoyed by the Cossacks. It also ushered in a period of cultural suppression, known as Russification. The Ukrainian language, traditions, and culture were subordinated to the Russian norms. The use of the Ukrainian language was discouraged, and the Russian language was promoted in public life and education. The Ukrainian Orthodox Church was also absorbed into the Russian Orthodox Church. Despite these suppressive measures, the Ukrainian spirit remained unbroken. The seeds of national consciousness had been sown, and they would continue to grow, even beneath the frost of Russian rule. And so, Ukraine found itself under the iron fist of the Russian Empire. The story of Ukraine's struggle to preserve its identity and independence is a testament to the resilience and indomitable spirit of its people. But the journey was far from over. As we shall see, the winds of change were yet to sweep across the Ukrainian landscape. But did the Ukrainian spirit ever truly submit to Russian rule? This question ushers us into a period of Ukraine's history that was marked by a persistent struggle for independence, a time when the spirit of freedom refused to be suppressed, despite the seemingly insurmountable odds. As we delve deeper into this fascinating era, we encounter a series of uprisings that were born out of a deep-seated yearning for autonomy. The Ukrainian people, fueled by an unquenchable thirst for liberty, rose against their oppressors time and time again. Each uprising, though met with resistance, sowed the seeds of a robust national identity that would eventually lead to their independence. This struggle for self-rule was not limited to the battlefield. It permeated all facets of Ukrainian society, from the arts to education, fostering a national consciousness that transcended generations. This collective consciousness became the bedrock upon which the dream of an independent Ukraine was built. The aftermath of World War I presented a glimmer of hope. For a brief period, Ukraine tasted independence. The Ukrainian People's Republic was established, a beacon of sovereignty amidst the chaos of a war-torn world. However, this newfound freedom was short-lived. The specter of Soviet rule soon cast its long, ominous shadow over the fledgling republic. With the dawn of the Soviet era, Ukraine was once again engulfed in the throes of foreign rule. The iron fist of the USSR clamped down hard, seeking to extinguish the flame of Ukrainian nationalism. Yet, the spirit of independence refused to be quelled. It flickered persistently, a stubborn beacon amidst the overwhelming darkness. This period of Ukraine's history, though marred by conflict and subjugation, is a testament to the indomitable will of its people. A people who, despite being repeatedly pushed to the brink, refused to surrender their dream of self-rule. Despite the odds, the flame of independence never truly died out in Ukraine. It burned bright and steady, a symbol of the Ukrainian people's enduring resolve to chart their own course in the annals of history. What was life like under the Soviet rule? One might wonder. Well, to understand this, we'll delve into the heart of the Soviet era, a time that forever altered the course of Ukraine's history. The Soviet era was a period of profound transformation for Ukraine. The 1920s ushered in an era of Soviet policies that drastically reshaped the Ukrainian society and economy. Ukraine, known as the breadbasket of Europe, was forced to adapt to Soviet agricultural policies, which prioritized industrialization over the well-being of the populace. This emphasis on industrialization led to a dire consequence: the Great Famine, also known as the Holodomor. From 1932 to 1933, millions of Ukrainians perished, victims of a man-made famine, a direct result of Soviet policies. The Stalin regime requisitioned grain from Ukrainian farmers to export, leaving the population with hardly enough to survive. This was not merely a famine, it was a methodical extermination of a people, an event so horrific that it's etched deeply into the collective memory of Ukraine. The Holodomor was a chilling reminder of the brutal nature of the Soviet regime. Yet, it wasn't the only hardship Ukrainians endured during this period. The Soviet era was marked by relentless political repression. Ukrainians were subjected to forced Russification, their language and culture suppressed, their identity systematically erased. Intellectuals, artists, and nationalists were persecuted, their voices silenced, their lives often cut short. But Ukrainians, resilient as they are, held on to their culture, their language, their identity. They bore the weight of Soviet oppression, yet never lost sight of who they were. Their spirit unbroken, they continued to hope, to dream, to fight for a better future. And so, the Soviet era left a deep scar on the Ukrainian psyche. A scar that serves as a stark reminder of their past struggles, a testament to their resilience, and a beacon guiding their relentless pursuit of a better future. But as we'll see in the next chapter, the road to independence in modern Ukraine was not without its own set of challenges. So, how did Ukraine finally gain its independence? It's a tale of fortitude and resilience, a story that begins with the fall of the Soviet Union. The year was 1991, a year that saw the winds of change sweep across Eastern Europe. The Soviet Union, an imposing power that once seemed invincible, began to crumble from within. Ukraine, along with other Soviet republics, saw an opportunity. The momentum was building, the call for freedom was getting louder. And then, on August 24, 1991, the Ukrainian parliament made a bold move. They declared independence from the Soviet Union, a declaration that was later overwhelmingly supported by the Ukrainian people in a nationwide referendum. Now, independence was not an end, but a beginning, a fresh start to shape a new identity, a new future. Modern Ukraine has faced its fair share of challenges: economic turbulence, political instability, territorial disputes, and most notably, the ongoing conflict in the eastern region. Yet, despite these hurdles, Ukraine has made significant strides. The Orange Revolution and the more recent Revolution of Dignity showcased the nation's commitment to democratic values. Ukraine has also made efforts to integrate more with the West, seeking partnerships with the European Union and NATO. It's a journey of transformation, of a country continuously striving to define its place in the world stage. But what truly stands out in this journey is the spirit of the Ukrainian people. Their tenacity, their courage, their unwavering belief in a better future. From the brave protesters in the Maidan to the innovative minds driving the country's tech boom, it's the people who are shaping modern Ukraine. Even amidst hardships, the Ukrainians have shown that they can stand tall, that they can weather the storm. They've shown that they can hold on to their dreams, their aspirations, their independence. And that, my friends, is the story of modern Ukraine. Thus, against all odds, Ukraine stands tall and proud, a testament to the resilience of its people.